Okay, we're going over lesson 13, which is about RGB colors and classes. RGB colors. All colors, whether they have names or not, can be described by the level of red, green, and blue light it takes to make them. This is called an RGB value. You can use the widget on your left to try out different RGB values and see what colors they make. Click Run to start the widget on the left. Okay, so for this exercise, you're going to find, so for example, red 216, I find this red slider and I drag it down to 216. If you don't get 216, so mine's going 15 and 17, that's completely fine. It's going to create a similar color. Green 191, blue 216. Okay, so this is like purple. Oh, okay, so now I see. They want us to match. So A is number 4. Okay, so it's like a matching game. So let's see which one B corresponds with. 255, green 239. Blue 114. 114. Okay, did I do something wrong? Because this does not look like any of these colors. Maybe they're going for this. What did I do? 255, 239. Oh, blue 213. I must have been looking. I was looking at C. Okay, 213. Okay, so yeah, yep. B matches with 1. So I want you to do the same thing with C, D, and E. And then when you're done, click Finish. Okay, so in this level, in the next few levels, you'll be finding seasonal colors for a website. Here, you'll need to find the RGB values for a wintry blue color. Click Run. Adjust the levels until you match. I thought I turned this solution off, but I guess I did not. Whoops. So if you want to cheat, that's fine. Otherwise, let's play around with this. Okay. Do we need more red? Well, oh, perfect. Look at that. That's close enough. If you get close like that, that's fine. So that's the combination. 210, 231, 255 to make this winter blue. Don't worry that it says activity guide. Your teacher may or may not have you use an activity guide for this lesson. Okay. Again, if you want to cheat, that's fine. And look at my teachers only answer key. Otherwise, we're doing the same thing that we did in the last level. We're trying to find this color, summer yellow. So just play with the sliders till you get it. Then you can move on to 5. Okay, spring and autumn colors. So this is the same thing in the last couple levels. You're going to click Run, and you're going to adjust the levels until you find a spring color you like. If you don't know what a spring color is, they're usually light colors. So you could just do it, quick image search, spring colors. So, yeah, light colors. So you could go for a little pink. Let's see. This looks like a spring color to me too. So you could just go with that. This too. These light purples, they remind me of spring. Okay, so the less blue, the less springy it gets pretty much. Okay, let's move on. Go to 6, classes. Okay. In this page, the web developer has used classes to give some of the words our winter color. Let's see if they have. Okay. Yes, so look at these heading tags. Notice how each of them has an attribute. This is called an attribute. That is called class. Okay? Class equals winter. Class equals winter. Add code to the HTML that will give snowy the same winter blue. Oh, I skipped this. Look at the HTML code for the winter words. Why is snowy the only winter word without the winter color? So let's look, where does it say snowy? Oh, okay. Alright, well, let's find where it says snowy in our code. Okay. Snowy. Okay. Why doesn't it look like these other words? Well, as you see, there's no class attribute in there. So let's type in class. Class equals winter. Okay. And let's scroll down and see if that worked. Snowy. Yep. Okay. Add code. We did this. We did this step already. So let's look at this. Look inside the style sheet to find the rule. So let's click the style sheet first off. Style.css. Look inside the style sheet to find the rule that makes all the words in the winter class blue, and check whether your RGB numbers are close to the ones in the style sheet. Okay. Okay, dot winter. And they have an RGB color in here. RGB 195, 230, 255. Check whether your RGB numbers are close to the ones in the style sheet. Okay, I think they're referring to the RGB numbers that you created when you were doing exercise 2 or 3. So don't worry about that. But look at how this code works. So they made a rule set called .winter. And essentially, that's a class that you can use in your HTML now. Okay? And how we use that class can be seen right here. Class, winter. Notice how they left the dot out of this. Alright, so once you see that, let's move on to exercise 7. Classes. Okay, so this is more information on classes. Sometimes you only want to style some specific elements of a type instead of all elements of one type. Classes allow for a group of elements to have their own unique style. This applies to elements on the same page or on separate pages, as long as all the pages link to the same style sheet. To style using classes, first you need to mark the elements in HTML that will be in that class. Okay, I think that's represented here. Class equals fancy. Second, you need to write a style rule set for that class. So that's seen right here. .fancy. To write a rule for a class of elements, the selector for the rule has a dot before the class name. Okay, now it all makes sense. Before, I was getting confused reading this, but if you look at this image, it all makes sense. So first, you want to go to your HTML, create a class, equals fancy, then you go to your CSS file, make a rule set, and you edit the rule set. So we're going to see how that looks in these coming exercises. Your winter words should all have the same color and font. Find the CSS rule set in the style sheet that gives the winter words their style. Okay, this sounds very similar to one of the exercises we already did. .winter. Okay, we find the rule set. Add a rule that changes the font of the winter words. It can be any font, but it will need to be different from that of the other 3 seasons. Okay, so they want these fonts to be different. Oh, font family right there. I think, is that different than font? Let's see. Doesn't look like it. Okay, so then let's just change font family to monospace. Cool. Add any other rules you'd like for your winter words. We're not going to add any other rules. Okay, so then click finish. Now that your winter class is ready, you can start on the other seasons. Find the empty CSS rule set in the style sheet that gives the spring words their style. So go to the style sheet, scroll down to dot spring, add two rules. One to give the text your spring color for earlier in the lesson, and another to give the text a different font size, or decoration. Okay, so let's copy from winter. And let's paste it in spring. And we don't want monospace because that's what winter has. So let's change that first to cursive. And we want spring colors. Okay? So what did we find was a spring color in that earlier lesson? Was that okay? So summer was 4, so let's go to 3, and this was the spring colors. What? I thought that was okay. So let's go to 5. Did this do autumn colors? What the? Winter, summer. What? 6? 6 was spring. Oh Lord. Spring. Jeez. Okay. Cool. So as I said before, a lot of spring colors are just light. So let's go with this pink. 255, 171, 255. Okay, and I go back to exercise 9. I go to my style.css page. 255. I think, what was that? 191, 171. 171. And let's check out our spring now. Whoa, didn't work yet. Oh, want to know why it didn't work? We didn't add the spring class to the spring elements in the HTML page. So click index.html, find spring, and look how helpful these comments are. We're going to add, let me zoom in for you guys so you can see a little better. So I clicked in this h2 tag, and I type in class equals spring. Remember, we're leaving the dot out, okay? And we're going to do that in each one. So let's just copy this and paste and paste, and just keep doing that in each one under spring. And now let's see what these look like. Alright, cool. We got the spring color in there. Okay. So you're finished exercise 9. Summer and autumn classes. Okay, so we're doing the same thing that we just did in the last exercise. But we have to create the rule set this time. Okay. So let's copy this spring, and we're going to rename it summer. And we want to do our summer colors. So I opened in a new tab, exercise, I think that's 3. So I can look at my summer colors. Okay, no, it's 4. Okay. So the solution says 255, 230, 100. So let's do that. 255, is that 130? 200. 130, 200. 230, 100. Oh God. 230. 100. Okay, cool. And I'm going to keep it, what are the fonts? Inherit. We'll do that. Okay, so now what do I have to do? I have to go into summer and I have to add some classes. Let's copy from spring and let's paste in each one. But we have to change this to summer. And do that for each heading underneath the summer comment. But here, now let's just copy and paste this, so I don't have to keep changing it from spring to summer. Okay, I'm running out of time for this video. I will continue in another video.